Hi, everybody, and welcome to today's show. So today's discussion is going to be nice and simple. We're talking about rapid transformational therapy because I know a lot of you guys out there are like, what the frig is rapid transformational therapy? I'm about to tell you. So buckle up, everybody, because here we go. We welcome any questions you've got going on here, so you're free to ask me anything you want to see if it's going to suit your needs or whatever the case may be. Maybe you got some questions because you're not understanding what this is all about. So I'm about to tell you what this is all about. So get ready because this is very exciting. So today we're talking about RTT and what it is. Now, really what it is it's a combination of hypnotherapy, psychotherapy, neurolinguistic programming, and cognitive behavioral therapy. And that means it's basically hypnosis and therapy on steroids. So if you think that going to a regular therapist is awesome, wait till you try rapid transformational therapy. It's freaking fantastic. So we're excited to get into this discussion today to tell you all about the transformations that can happen in a very, very short time when you use rapid transformational therapy. So if you've got any questions, feel free to ask. If you've got any comments, feel free to comment, all of that stuff. I love hearing from everybody who's on the call right now. So thank you for joining us, and let's get going. RTT basically works by exploring some key principles. Okay, so the techniques in rapid transformational therapy access your subconscious mind, and they uncover and reprogram any deep-seated beliefs that are up in your noggin up here. And so any of those patterns that have been holding you back, that's what we get to start changing. And so I know a lot of you guys have a lot of stuff that are holding you back, and it's about trying to figure out what it is, trying to go back to the root cause of everything and changing that for you. So that's really exciting. So RTT actually helps you break free from any negative cycles that you may be suffering from. It also helps you to create some exceptionally positive changes. And through the guidance of hypnosis and, therapeutic interventions, you will learn how to harness the power of your mind. And that means you get to achieve all of your desired outcomes. So isn't this exciting? We're going to tell you all about this. And I have a secret sauce at the end of this show that I'm going to share with you guys. It's something coming up next week that we are releasing next week that's going to give you guys a jump start in changing your life. And you're going to be able to do everything I do except for the hypnosis part. But you'll be able to do everything I do, but you'll be able to do it in the comfort of your home. So if you're excited about that, stick around to the end because that's what we will be chatting about then. So let's get going into this. Now, understanding the reason for your challenges and implementing, targeted interventions, this experience is incredibly profound. It's going to shift your mindset. It's going to shift your behaviors. It's going to change everything. So whether you struggle with anxiety, self-doubt, depression, PTSD, these are the things we work with here. I'm not doing quit smoking. I mean, I could, but I prefer not to. I like to work with people who are really, really struggling to, find themselves in life. And so RTT, you can use it for everything. You can use it for if you're afraid to go on a plane. You can use it if, you are overweight, have smoking problems. Most hypnotherapists will do stuff like that. But here, in this location, we actually focus on people who are struggling through being stuck. People who, maybe have depression, anxiety, self-doubt. Maybe they have imposter syndrome, or they just get stuck. We've had clients who came in who didn't have any of that stuff going on, yet they were stuck. They couldn't figure out, this one client in particular I'm thinking about, he's a business owner, and he couldn't figure out why this business wasn't making millions like his other two businesses did quickly. So he had to figure out what was the dynamics that changed, and he couldn't do it on his own. He couldn't figure it out on his own. That's where I came in, and I helped him to figure that out. And 1 month later, actually it was 2 months later, but we've only done 1 month together, but within 2 months, his company hit that $1 million mark. And so this is the kind of stuff it does for you. So RTD, it's integrating these therapies, these elements that give you advice, that help you to change your life, that give you the tools you need in order to make these changes. So we're not just telling you what to do, we're also showing you how to do it within the sessions as well. And RTT, it does take a minute to work. It's not something that works overnight. Like a lot of people say, like the TV shows are trying to show you. That's not how it works. So RTT, Rapid Transformational Therapy, does take time. So it does start working within the first 24 hours. Absolutely, it starts working that quickly. However, it does take at least 21 days for full changes to start taking place. Does that mean you're fully going to manifest everything right away? No, it does not, but we will get into all the details of this later in the show. So how does RTT help? What kind of people are seeking help from RTT? Let's talk about that. So people who have persistent emotional distress. So if you find yourself experiencing feelings of sadness, anxiety, anger, other intense emotions, anything that's affecting your daily life, your relationships, your work world, those people come here. If you're feeling like coping, you don't have any coping skills, maybe you're feeling incredibly stressed out from your work relationships and everything about life, okay? Now, all of that stuff becomes incredibly overwhelming. And if you don't actually have coping skills, you have zero idea how to get out of it and how to make your life okay again. That's where we come in to help you. We teach you how to do that. We also show you where you got stuck with all of that stuff. People who are going through major life changes or transitions also come to see us here, right? So maybe you're going through a divorce, a sex change. Maybe you're going through a job loss or relationships. You've decided to change the type of sex you're seeking in a relationship, or whatever life changes you're going through, anything huge that may be traumatizing to you or confusing. We can help you to unlock whatever's going on up in your noggin and figure it all out. So that's what we're here to do. We also help you with strained relationships. We have a lot of people who come in. Now, I don't really work with relationships, although sometimes I have to because some of the clients who come in are having relationship issues. So yeah, I do help them. But for the most part, with relationships, if you have a consistent strain in the relationship, that's because you have probably lack of emotional intelligence and communication skills. Something's missing there. That's what we teach you to do. So technically, I'm not here specifically just for relationships, but I do help people develop their ability to maintain healthy, loving relationships. Okay, because relationships aren't just about, the one you're sleeping with. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about relationships, period, with the people that surround you, your family, your friends, your coworkers, the people down the street, everybody. We're talking about those kinds of relationships, okay? So we're going to help you get unstuck. We're going to help you to learn how to resolve conflicts, to start being able to communicate your needs a little bit more effectively, that sort of stuff. And actually, this very much, we have this whole thing right at the end of the show. We're going to teach you how to do that all by yourself at home, okay? If you're feeling stuck or unfulfilled, that too. Now, if you've got that sense of emptiness, maybe you don't have a clear direction in life. People who say, I don't know my purpose, I have no goals, I don't know what I'm meant for, those people come to see me because I unlock their future for them. Not only do I let you see why you're stuck, but I also help you to understand where you're heading, what possibilities are available to you. I get to help you to see your own future. And that is incredibly rewarding and exciting. So we also do unhealthy coping mechanisms. So anybody who's got unhealthy coping mechanisms, which is most people who come to see me, to be fair, they don't have very good coping skills. If you're engaging in unhealthy coping mechanisms like substance abuse, self-harm, excessive avoidance, maybe you've got a sex addiction, porn addiction, anything like that, those challenges can indicate the need for professional intervention. And that's where I come in. So we also talk to people who have decreased performance at work and school. And that's the gentleman I was telling you about before, who had sold 2 incredibly successful businesses prior to this. And then suddenly he can't make money anymore. And he was trying to figure out why. That's the kind of stuff we help you to do. We help you to figure out the why it's not working for you anymore. Even though you're making all the same steps you did before, that you were successful before, why did that change? Why isn't it working now? That's what we help you to figure out. So this is about, maybe you've got underlying emotional issues, or maybe there was a life change that's affecting things. We help you to see the truth behind whatever it is holding you back. Now, anybody who has sleep disturbances, we've got a couple of clients right now who are coming to me for, well, part and parcel of everything that's going on in their lives includes sleep issues. So that's what we're dealing with, is their sleep issues. We're helping them with that. And it's fun because both people that I'm currently working with this month, both people, they were the types to get up all night several times during the evening. And both of them are now sleeping through the night almost. They might only wake up one time instead of multiple times, but it's getting better and better. So it's like 1 week after the hypnosis, already that change happened, right? So that's really literally, they both had their hypnosis last week and already they're both sleeping better. So that's what we do for you. So if you're having sleep issues, there's usually a reason why. It's this. There's something up here. Usually. It could be health issues, but we'll also help you to figure that out. I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose anything for you, but I can help you to understand what is the health issues that are preventing your sleep. And then where is it that it's anxiety? Maybe your mind's overworked or whatever the case, things that I can help you with. We help you to figure that out too. Okay. So also physical symptoms. Now, this is what I used it for. This is why I'm healthy. This is why we're talking today. I use it for medical intervention. I was literally in a hospital bed when I found RTT, and it literally saved my life. I was stuck in that victim mentality. You know that mentality. You know the one where you're like, my life sucks. I wish I'm dead. I can't do this anymore. Please take me out of this world. That kind of mentality. I was bad. Like, I was literally in a hospital bed begging the hospital staff to kill me. Begging them to take my life when I found RTT. And now look at me, you guys. Everything in my life has changed for the better. I can't even tell you all the changes that have happened because there's so much of them. But you can just guess, because look at me now. When I was in that hospital, I was in excruciating pain. I was often on paralyzed for the past 15, 20 years, often on blind for the past 15 or 20 years. And my depression was so thick. It had such a grip on me, you guys. But I got out. I got out of the fight or flight. I got out of that victim mentality because of rapid transformational therapy. It saved my life. And we'll help you with that too. Because guess what? Most medical issues are linked to psychological factors as well, especially after you've been diagnosed with something. Absolutely. Because as soon as you get diagnosed, it's instantaneous poor me syndrome. Instant. I remember the day I got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. I went home and I said, okay, I'm dead. I'm dead. I have maybe 2 years left of my life. And that was the day I gave up on myself and on everything around me. And that's why 15 years later, you found me in a hospital bed begging the hospital to take my life, because I had fallen so deep into that victim mentality. And every time I kept getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And I wasn't supposed to get sicker. There was zero reason for that. The medications I was on should have been working, but nothing worked. Not one medication worked for me. Why? This thing up here kept causing me to remain sick because I believe this is my fate now, right? So that's what we're going to help you with. Then we also help with thoughts of and harm. So anybody who's at that point, like, listen, we do need to work with a psychologist if you are suffering this sort of stuff. So we're going to work as a team together to find out why you're feeling that way. Find out why you believe that your life isn't worth anything. We can help you with that. But again, you do have to have a therapist, another therapist, a psychologist, so a clinical therapist to work with us so that we can make sure you get everything you need and make sure that you're safe in the end. And I want to say hi to everybody who just joined. Hi, Noelle. Nice to see you here. And who else? Barbara's here and Gail's here. And hi, everybody else who's incognito that I'm not seeing who's here. Hi, guys. Nice to see you. We're talking rapid transformational therapy today. What the frig is this stuff all about? Well, how can it help you to improve your focus and concentration? This is incredible, guys. RTT is a powerful, powerful tool. It helps to improve your focus and concentration like that. Let me tell you my story. Okay, so remember when I told you I was in the hospital? Remember a few minutes ago? So I was in the hospital and my brain didn't work. I'm sure you guys can relate when you're on a lot of medications, your brain stops working. You get brain fog, like bad brain fog, plus then depression, that brain fog. Then we also had the anxiety brain fog, the PTSD brain fog. I was fogged. I was very, very fogged. And I had a hard time even opening books to be able to read a few pages. I couldn't focus enough to do that. So once I got out of that hospital, well, when I was in the hospital, I had tried hypnosis and instantly it changed me instantly. I remember the hospital staff walked in the room asking me what the frig is going on. I know I say frig a lot because I'm trying not to swear, you guys. So sorry. I'm trying to be a good girl here. But yeah, so the hospital staff came in the room and they're like, what the frig is happening? We're worried. I'm like, why? I was just sitting there typing on my computer, writing a story, right? And they're like, this is not normal. I'm like, huh? And they're like, you know, for the past month, you've been in a ball, crying, begging us to kill you. And right now you're sitting down typing. What did you do? What's different? What's happening? And your numbers, your charts, because I was attached to everything. I had things coming out of my neck, out of my arm. I was attached to everything. All the alarm bells were going off at the nurse's station and everything like that. When she came in, she's like, it looks like you're running around the hospital. That's what we thought was happening. We thought you were in here doing exercise or something really weird was happening because you're attached to everything. What the heck's going on? I said, nothing. I just did I did self-hypnosis. What? Well, that's all I did. Self-hypnosis. The self-hypnosis that I did for myself helped me to actually sit up and start using my brain. Now, did it clear everything out? No, it did not do that. But it cleared it enough that I wanted to get up and write and I wanted to start. Now, when did it clear it out completely? When I went for a full RTT session, which was about a month later. I went for a full RTT session to, change my life because I knew if the self-hypnosis that Marissa Peer taught me, which Marissa Peer, by the way, is the lady who invented rapid transformational therapy, if the self-hypnosis she taught me worked that well, how good is this hypnosis, this rapid transformational therapy hypnosis going to work for me? So I tried it. Hell, guys, the next day, okay, so before that, I was studying to do stuff. I was trying to better my life and because I was on disability, I wanted to find a career. So I was educating myself. So I was opening books and it was like reading Chinese. I could not figure anything out to save my life. I would read it, reread it again, and still only know maybe a third of whatever it had said in that paragraph, right? So I'm trying to figure it out. So the next day, I opened that same book and I knew it all already. Every page I went to look at, I knew it. I'm like, oh, I get it. I know it. Guys, it unlocked everything, absolutely everything in my mind. And it allowed me to start thinking again, to start believing in myself again, to start wanting to do stuff again. Because now I have abilities, right, where they were locked before because I locked them down with my own brain saying I can't do it. And when you say you can't do it, guess what believes you? Your brain. It really, really believes you. So you have to be careful about stuff like that, what you're saying. So yes, does it help with concentration? Absolutely. Because guess what? Accessing the subconscious mind, so where those deep-seated beliefs and patterns reside, that's what we do. We introduce a trance-like state that we put you under, and then we help you to find your answers, your aha moments, if you will. And that helps the faculty of your subconscious mind release all of that anxiety, all of that tension, all of that trauma you've got stuck up inside. And P.S., if you're achy, breaky heart anywhere, if you're aching joints, aching hip, aching back, that's usually emotional issues. I mean, unless you broke it doing sports or sex or something awesome, right? Usually it's your brain causing the problem. I know for a long time when I first started this company, because I was short on short on cash flow, my lower back hurt exceptionally bad. Why? Because the lower back is where I was storing all of my fears, my it's not me mentality. It's not meant for me. It's not me. I'm not worthy of money. I can't earn it. I'm not meant to be a boss. All of those thoughts, that was stored in my lower back. That's where I was storing it. Well, got rid of it all, guys, and look at me now. So, guys, this is incredible stuff. What it does is it allows your mind to create positive suggestions, to build imagery. The imagery starts to roll through your mind and it penetrates deeply into your brain. So it may start off with negative imagery because, of course, we're going in after the root cause. So first you're going to see the negative stuff. But eventually what we do is we bring you towards the positive stuff. And that's what your brain then latches onto and starts to create for you. So when it comes to focus and concentration, hypnosis can help by reprogramming any limited beliefs that or distractions that are hindering your attention span up here. That's what we do. Now, enhanced attention control. So through our hypnotic techniques, you're going to learn visualization suggestions and you're going to learn how to control your noggin up here. And individuals can train their minds to filter out distractions. You can train your mind to sharpen your focus. You can train it to release anxiety. You can train it to laugh instead of cry. You can train your brain for a lot of things. Now, I've trained my brain literally when I get angry, because I used to be very angry because I was sick. I was in a whole lot of pain. And so I was a very angry human being. And so, but I trained my brain that now when I get angry, it goes up for 30 seconds, maybe a minute max, and then I start cracking jokes. Why? That's what I train my brain to do so that it will bring it right back down. And now it's just natural. Now it's just natural. It just happens right away so that I calm the heck down and I don't get angry and I don't stay angry and all of that stuff. So you can do these sorts of things by training your basic attention control. You're going to have laser focus. You're going to envision yourself completing tasks on time and with ease and clarity, and you're going to start seeing this in your mind. And guys, what you create in your mind, you can create in real life. You know that, right? It's a true story. So what we believe up here is what we're creating. So that's why we're going to teach you how to enhance your control of this mind of ours so that you can create whatever it is that you want for yourself. And over time, these suggestions, they become ingrained in your subconscious mind, leading to improved control in your life. So we also do addressing underlying issues. So that's the main thing what Rapid Transformational does, basically, is it, because those underlying issues that we all suffer from, by the way, because we all kind of have some trauma and some chaos in our brains from how we were raised, or maybe how we were abused at school from other kids, or whatever happened to you in your life. We all kind of have that going on in our brain that's holding us back. And those are the underlying issues. So those are the past traumas that we've dealt with that we're kind of holding down. And, you know, they might come up where you're getting triggered moments from somebody else saying something to you, and then you get triggered because of your past. So what we're doing is we're resolving those issues so that you no longer get triggered. That's the whole goal. That's what we do for you. You know, individuals can actually free up mental resources that were previously consumed with worry. So you're going to have more brain space by all of this because you're releasing the tension, the anxiety, the self-doubt, everything that was stuck. You're releasing that all, and then you're giving yourself basically room to grow. You're allowing yourself more room to grow. So it's the same thing as when people say, I don't want to overload my brain with too much useless information. Well, we're removing that useless information. And the useless information is that anxiety you've been rolling in your head. We're going to remove you of that. Those negative emotions, they're gone. And that allows you greater concentration, more focus, more dignity, more confidence, more everything, right? And so, guys, aspects of life where your focus and concentration are essential are places like work, home, driving, stuff like this. Really, it's always essential to have focus. But, you know, maybe athletes. Let's talk about athletes, for instance, okay? So a lot of athletes use visualization. They use hypnosis. They do. I know you guys don't know this, but that's what's happening in the back room at halftime, okay? Hypnosis. That's what's happening. The team may not even know they're being hypnotized because, yes, we can do it without you even knowing we're doing it. But ideally, you know those talks where you have the guy going in the back room and telling you, letting you envision, you catching the ball, letting you see what it is? Those talks, that's a version of the hypnosis that we're talking about. What we do further with a lot of athletes is we'll go one-on-one with the star athlete or whomever they want us to go in with, and we'll work one-on-one with them. And that person, we will create the imagery in their mind, because sometimes athletes get stuck because something happened in their life and they can't get out of that mental stress. They need to release their mental stress because otherwise it affects their career, right? It affects them on the field. It affects them everywhere. So we go in with athletes and we will help them to discover the root cause of whatever it is that's bothering them, release it, and then help them to visualize the success that they're seeking. And oftentimes they reach that success. Now, let me tell you, guys, when you use visualization techniques, which we're about to talk about, but when you use these visualization techniques, there is a study out there that showed, there's more than one study, but I'm only going to talk about this one. There's a study out there that showed that visualization techniques were used by one group of athletes. I'm not sure if they were athletes, actually. I might be misquoting this one, but it was used by one group of people. And all they did is hypnosis. That's all they did. Visualization, hypnotize themselves to believe, sat there and saw themselves over and over and over again achieving the task that they wanted to achieve. Now, the other group had training, and within that training, they didn't do any hypnosis at all. They just went out and trained every single day, okay? And then they tested both of them against each other. Guess who did better? Guess which athletes, which person performed better? The one who hypnotized themselves. That's who. You can go out and repeat something over and over again through exercise and doing it, and that doesn't mean you're ever going to be your best self. It just means you're pushing yourself to your current limit. Your current limit. That's the one you've got programmed up here. But once you hypnotize yourself, once you use visualization techniques, guess what? You don't have a limit anymore. Your limit is whatever you set in your mind. And so your body and your mind now react to the new limit that you've placed on it. And usually it's limitless. And so that's the difference. So imagine yourself effortlessly completing your tasks, with laser focus, with concentration, with positive attitude. Now imagine someone who might be struggling with that. Maybe they can't maintain their focus. Maybe they can't concentrate. Maybe they have deep-seated beliefs that, they had formed in their childhood that's holding them back, or even 5 years ago that's holding them back, because it's not always childhood. It could be events that happened just recently. Whatever it is, maybe they're frequently told that they were easily distracted or incapable of paying attention, or, a lot of people with ADHD were told this. Now, I have ADHD. I didn't know it. I'm 50 years old, and I just found out by researching ADHD for my clients. I just found out what the symptoms of ADHD are, the signs of ADHD. And it turns out I have high ADHD. I have not known this my entire life. In fact, my entire life, I thought I had a super brain. My brain works faster than everyone else. I was feeling bad for everyone else because they couldn't work like me. Their brains couldn't focus on the things I could focus on. They didn't have the laser focus I have. They couldn't multitask in the way that I could multitask because my brain can think of 10 things at one time and accomplish all 10 things. Can your brain do that, normal people? No, your brain cannot do that. ADHD people brains can do that. But a lot of ADHD people, there are different levels of ADHD, to be fair. Okay. But a lot of ADHD people, the second they're told they're broken, they believe they're broken. And so I'm lucky. I'm really lucky that my parents never told me. They did tell me that when I was a child that the teachers wanted to put me on drugs. And they said to the teacher, no, you're not doing that to my little girl. And I'm glad they told the teacher that, because I was hyper. I was a hyper little girl. I was the child that leashes were invented for. I was the one who was like, ooh, shiny things. And I go find the shiny thing. That was me. Right? And so you have to understand that when you have that child, you raise them to believe in themselves, which, thank you, Mom and Dad. My parents did that amazingly well. They taught us that we can do whatever we want, we can accomplish, we can go for whatever we want, not to limit ourselves. That was earlier in life. When they found out what I wanted to do, they tried to start limiting me, but that's a whole nother discussion. But when I was younger, when I was being raised, I was always taught that, the sky's the limit. Your limitations are what you set for yourself. And that's it. So to understand that, right? And so when we started to use the visualization techniques and stuff like that as an adult, I started to change the ADHD in my brain. I started to change everything that was going on in my brain. So I still have the ADHD, but it doesn't affect me at all because my parents never told me that was the issue. And again, that's why we're trying to help people who've gotten diagnoses of stuff. Diagnosing something I know we think it's a good thing because now we finally know what's wrong with us, but is it really? Because once you know what's wrong with you, now you're labeled and now you believe you're broken and now you start working as a broken person. You start playing your life out as that person who can't be perfect anymore, who maybe can't accomplish things because that's what you're being told. And that's untrue. So what we want everybody to do is start visualization because, visualizations, it impacts your mind. It goes into your subconscious. It's going to influence your abilities to concentrate, to focus. It's going to help you to feel more confident about yourself and your future. It's going to help you to see your future and all of that sort of stuff. So understand that this visualization techniques works amazingly well for everybody, especially the ADHD people, because they were told that they can't do anything. And that's a lie. That's a lie. Your brain is a superpower, ADHD folks. Your brain is a superpower. Trust me, I know. I have that brain. And my brain's a superpower. My brain has gotten me where it's gotten me today. So understand if you start using these visualization techniques and through using RTT, you're going to access the subconscious mind and challenge any of those old beliefs, any of those diagnoses and names that people gave you or whatever. Challenge it. Challenge it. Because during the hypnosis session, we're going to guide you to visualize yourself, having that focused attention, controlling your mind like a race car. You're going to be shifting gears in your mind like a race car so you can control everything that's going on. This is the kind of stuff you do with yourself. So when you visualize yourself as that, you actually do gain the control. Does it happen the first time? Probably not. You have to do this on repeat over 21 days. So when you do something 21 days in a row, you start to see it. So do the visualization techniques, but do it every single day. Then we also teach you about, distraction filtering. So what we want people to do is to learn how to train their mind to filter out all of the distractions. So incoming emails, background noises, all that stuff. I learned to do that. I used to be that person. The second a call came in, the second an email came in, the second a text came in, I had to answer it or I felt guilt. Now I can let it sit for a day or two even because I get to it when I have a moment. I've scheduled. So I only look at my emails and my business texts, my work texts from clients. I only look at that stuff first thing in the morning and then the last thing at the end of the day. That's the only time I look at those things, unless I'm expecting to have a chat with a client about something serious going on, then I will look. Because I listen, if my current paying clients contact me any time of day or night, I'm on it. I'm on it right there. But everybody else, you can wait. You can wait till I get to you. And I have to schedule time for that because like I told you guys in other sessions, everything's scheduled. And that's how you learn to do distraction filtering as well, as when you start to learn to schedule. So maybe you're someone who's struggling with concentration or because there's constant distractions at work. Maybe you get too many emails. Maybe there's too much background noise happening. Whatever it is, if you come under hypnosis, if you start to visualize things, if you do self-hypnosis, you're going to learn how to filter all that stuff out. And, maybe imagine yourself at a desk. Okay, so picture that you're surrounded by a bubble of focused concentration. That's kind of how you're going to do it, right? I know it sounds ridiculous. So what we tell people do is when you're going into your self-meditation, you're going to just kind of close your eyes and you're going to envision yourself putting a protection bubble over you. that protection bubble stays with you till the end of the day. And you tell your brain this, I have this protection bubble, it's staying with me to the end of the day. That protection bubble then helps you. Now we can teach you how to create that bubble for yourself, or we can create some audios for you so that will help you to create the bubble for yourself. But that's the kind of stuff you're going to do. So you put the bubble around you so that that bubble protects you from all the outside noises, all that stuff. So you see the stuff coming in, but the bubble says, no, you don't need to worry about that stuff right now. It's not important right this second. So it allows you to have that hyper focus on whatever it is that you need that hyper focus on. So of course that's going to give you a productivity boost in the end, right? These sessions, all RTT sessions, actually lead to increased productivity and efficiency of completing tasks, right? So imagine you're juggling multiple projects. You know, maybe you got a bunch of deadlines going on or something along those lines. Despite your best efforts, you are often finding yourself incredibly overwhelmed and struggling to stay positive. And I know a lot of you guys are experiencing exactly that. So you've tried various times to use management techniques. You've done productivity hacks. You've tried everything, because usually that's what happens. We go out and we try everything. I know before I found rapid transformational therapy, I had tried a lot of different therapists. I had tried many different self-help courses. Nothing helped me, but this did. So if that's you, you're experiencing all that stuff, it discourages you if you can't find the way to fix this, right? And so eventually you start to feel like, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I can't. Clearly, I can't be fixed. I get a lot of clients who come to tell me that, actually. We've had a few of them who come here and say, first of all, I can't be hypnotized, and I'm sure you can't fix me. Really now? Well, if that's your brain set that you think I can't fix you, then chances are I won't be able to fix you, because you don't want to be fixed. But if you're coming to me and tell me, yeah, I want to be fixed, and you might have a hard time because I'm a stubborn human being. That's what I said the first time. I said, you guys, I'm real stubborn. I don't know if my brain's going to like what you're going to do to it. I don't know if it's going to accept it, but I'm willing to try. If you come with that mentality, it's going to work. It's going to work. But if you come with the hell no, it's not going to work, it's not going to work. You want to know why? Because you're going to sabotage yourself. That's what happens. If you believe it's not worth it for you, if you believe you're not worthy of whatever it is that's coming towards you, if you think it's not for you, you will sabotage yourself so that it will not be for you, so that you are right. Because guess what? We love to be right. We just love to be right. So that's what this is going to show you, is that, hey, your brain is causing you to fail because it's doing exactly what you told it you want it to do. Your words create it. But this is going to create that positivity boost for you guys. So if you decide in that moment when you're struggling, when you're overwhelmed, when you've got anxiety, when you've got that imposter syndrome, if you decide to use hypnosis to boost all of this stuff at that moment, the hypnotherapy session itself will actually enhance your productivity. It's actually going to guide you to tap into your inner resources and unleash your full potential. That's what it does. So for example, you might visualize yourself effortlessly, tackling some tasks with, maybe you're visualizing yourself doing it right with clear focus, right? And okay, but when you're guided to tap into your inner resources, that's when you get to unleash everything. So you imagine that sense of calm confidence washing over yourself as you prioritize your workload and you execute each task with precision. That's how you make the change. It's not just about seeing it happen. It's about feeling it, tasting it, believing it, understanding that that's you. That's meant for you now, right? That's what visualization really is. You have to feel it, see it, taste it, believe it's yours already. Feel like you're already living it. That's why you're visualizing things, guys, by the way, is so that the visualization creates to your mind that it already exists. And if it already exists once, your brain can do it again. Simple. That's why you're doing that. Now that's what with this hypnosis stuff for productivity, that's what it's going to do, because through those suggestions, you're internalizing your beliefs such as, I am highly productive. I effortlessly manage my time. I'm super freaking awesome. whatever it is you want us to say to your brain, whatever it is we need to say to your brain. That's the positive stuff that starts to get implanted in your brain, and all that negative stuff you used to say to yourself goes away. It's no longer there. Your brain won't even let you say it anymore. So you become more productive over time because now you don't have these other things, these holding you back. You have a significant improvement in your life. You see significant improvements in your productivity levels, in your staff around you being productive as well, because oftentimes when they see we get better at something, they get better at something too, right? But as a result, you stay more organized, you accomplish your tasks on time, you have greater ease when you're working through your workday, you get home and you're less stressed out. All of this happens because you were able to visualize the awesomeness of your day. You're able to visualize yourself completing a task. You're able to visualize yourself finding success. And that's incredibly important. So let's talk a little bit about cognitive enhancement. Now, studies demonstrate that hypnosis can improve cognitive functions a lot. What does it do? Of course, it's enhanced performance, which we just talked about, but it's also going to enhance your quality of life because, attention and concentration are exceptionally important for engaging fully in activities and experiences. So that's what's going to lead to your higher quality of life. So by improving your cognitive functions through the hypnosis, you actually get to enjoy greater focus and clarity and fulfillment in all your interactions, in your hobbies and all your pursuits and all of that sort of stuff. And that leads to a greater mental well-being because your cognitive functions are closely linked to your mental well-being, right? So when your attention and concentration are impaired, you might start experiencing frustration, stress, anxiety, all of those things. It's interconnected. So by enhancing your cognitive functions through the hypnosis itself, or through visualization techniques, or through the program we're going to tell you about at the end of this show, you guys actually can reduce any negative emotions that you've been experiencing. You get to enjoy a greater sense of calm and control over your thoughts and your actions as well. Now, this leads to long-term brain health. I can attest to that because you're looking at somebody whose brain didn't work at all. I was waking up some mornings, I didn't even know my name. That was mostly due to a lot of the medications the doctors had me on. It turns out they had me on 15 different meds. 5 of them were brain altering medications, and 5 of them were medications I actually didn't need if I had just worked on my mindset. But the doctors don't teach you that. They don't teach you about mindset and brain health. They teach you about drugs, drug rehabilitation. And that's not what we do here. We teach you how to save yourself and to become the bright, beautiful human being you can be without being impaired by all those drugs. And so when you work on your cognitive function, because that does play a crucial role in maintaining your brain health, it's going to prevent age-related cognitive disease and decline. Okay, so studies suggest that, the activities that challenge your brain, stuff like hypnosis, well, it can preserve that cognitive functions in you because it allows your brain to remind itself that, you know what, I may be older, but I'm not broken. I know I can still learn new things. That's what the hypnosis did for me because when I took the hypnosis right after like that, when I was out of the hospital and I needed to study, when I did take the hypnosis, I believed I'm too old to learn new tricks. That wasn't true. But the hypnosis opened up my brain and now I'm being unleashed with a whole pile of great ideas, knowledge, empowerment, everything I needed to find the success I'm looking for. It was locked. It was locked inside and all I had to do was release it. So that's what it does. It gives you long-term brain health. And by improving your attention and concentration, hypnosis actually contributes to an amazing life for you. You actually get to live a little bit longer. And by that, I mean a healthy, longer life. And that, of course, empowers you. Because knowing that you have control of your mind, knowing that, your destiny is your own to create, that's freaking empowering. It's incredibly empowering. And I know a lot of people, they listen to people like me and they're like, you're so full of shit. You can't manifest stuff, blah, 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 blah. No. You can't manifest stuff because of your negative mindset. But I can create amazing things for myself and they're all going to come true because I believe it's possible. And I know it's possible because, well, I've done it, right? So by incorporating the hypnosis into self-care, into your self-care routines even. If you self-hypnotize every day, if you do meditation every single day, your entire life will change. Trust me. Look at me. My entire life changed. If you saw me 5 years ago, I was a broken shell of a human being. I hated life. I hated myself. And I didn't want to do anything except for go off the planet. And now I've been empowered. I've been empowered by all of this stuff. So it's going to help you to enjoy life a lot more. So overall, finding hypnosis, finding visualization, that's helping your cognitive functions. That's changing your entire life. It's changing your concentration. It's changing your self-esteem. It's changing everything for you. And it is so exciting, and it feels so good to have that power over self, right? I can't tell you how horrible it was when my brain was gone. It's the worst feeling in the world to feel like you are losing your mind. That's where I was. And I'm sure a lot of people out there feel that way because of stress. It's robbing them of everything. And when that happens, it drags you right the frig down. And what you believe is what you're going to create. So that's why you want to start using all of this, because it's going to help you to overcome all of your limiting beliefs. Like mine. My limiting beliefs were none of this is for me. I'm not going to accomplish. I'm not made for money, because that's what my parents always told me. Money wasn't meant for us. We're always meant to be poor in this family. No, we're not. No, we're not. And in fact, my father, just prior to passing away, said he had a dream about me where I was making millions and it was just rolling in, no problem. And that my job and my thing on the planet was to show everybody else how to do this for themselves. And that's how come I was making so much money. And I just looked at him and I said, Dad, I'm going to make that happen. Thank you. Right? So that's what I'm starting to do. I help people to turn their lives around so that they can go out and make their millions, that they can go out and have their impact on everybody else. Oh, we've got a beautiful comment here from Michelle. Let me put some glasses on. Michael, sorry. Without glasses, Michael, I couldn't see it. Sorry about that. All right. Michael Garvin said, hello, dear. Always enjoy what you share and comment on Facebook. But we're not friends. I've tried several times. Oh, another one of those. Okay. Well, I'm sure I'll contact you afterwards, Michael. There's a reason why I don't contact people who say they want to just be my friend online, is because I'm not here to be your friend. I'm a therapist. I'm here to help you to change your life. I appreciate you and I'll help you, and I am going to contact you to find out exactly how I can help you move forward in your life. But this isn't about building friendships. This is about changing your entire life. And that's what we're going to do. And guess what? Over time, we might create a friendship, because with most of my clients, I'm now friends with them. I love them so much. I do. I build emotional connections to the people I end up working with, and I become close with them. And that's what I am. But I urge everybody else out there, if you are trying to contact me, don't try to contact me to date me. Not interested in you. Don't try to contact me to be your friend. Don't need more friends. I'm here to help you. So if you want help, I'm your gal. I will help you until I can't do it anymore, until there are no other options. I will not give up on you. I'm here for you every single step of the way, like all of my clients. Okay? Thank you. Now let's get back to the topic at hand. Overcoming limiting beliefs. How do you do that? How do you overcome all of these limiting beliefs? How do you, break through those struggles that you're having? How do you advance in your career? How do you find the love of your life? How do you, get rid of deep-seated beliefs that have been holding you back, or how do you change your friend circle? How do you do all this stuff? Well, we teach a lot of people neurolinguistic programming, and that's what we actually use here is neurolinguistic programming, because that expedites the process of changing your beliefs. So it goes from I can't focus to maybe I don't know this yet, or my attention span is off for now. But it's not off forever, just for now. Okay, now how are we going to teach you all this? Well, through anchoring techniques to start, which we do teach you anchoring techniques, and they're fun. They're fun. NLP uses anchoring techniques that are associated to specific mental and emotional states. Stuff that are your physical triggers, such as a touch or a gesture or something along those lines. During the RTT session itself, what we do is we help you to create powerful anchors for yourself so that, you can have those positive reinforcements for you. So by consistently activating those anchors that we teach you in relevant situations, of course, you can actually quickly assess the state of heightened focus whenever you need it. You'll be able to access it anytime. Okay. That's what the anchoring techniques do. It allows you to access your superpowers. The superpowers we're going to teach you that you actually do have, you've always had. We're going to teach you how to access them through anchoring techniques. We also teach you language patterns. Again, that's NLP that teaches language patterns. We use it to communicate with ourselves and others, of course, language. It's spellcasting. That's what language is. It's spellcasting. Literally, what you say to the universe, it's now starting to create. That's what a spell is. Sorry, guys. I know you guys say it's not, you're doing witchcraft. No, I'm not doing witchcraft. Language is spellcasting. Not what I'm doing. Not what I'm doing. All of us use a technique of spellcasting when we're using language, when we're using prayer, when we're using meditation. That's all spellcasting. I know you don't know this, but that's what it is. And so when we use it to communicate, we identify and reframe negative self-talk associated with our focusing, with our abilities. Maybe we're going to use hypnosis to implant the suggestions to replace that old belief system that we had, okay? Now, through the repetition, the reinforcement of these positive languages that we're now going to, first of all, instill into your brain and then teach you how to use, it becomes deeply ingrained into your subconscious mind, and it accelerates the process of that belief of change. So it actually makes everything go much quicker for you. Then there are submodalities. So NLP explores the sensory modality through which we experience and represent the eternal reality. Meaning, by altering the submodalities, we get to transform their subjective experience and begin to experience focus and concentration. So we go from I can't focus to I can accomplish anything. You're changing it around. Now, if you want to know more about submodalities, we teach you about that as well. I'm not going to get into it now. It's big deal. But basically, pretend you're imagining a spider that you're fearful of. The submodality of that spider, you can change it. By changing the size of the spider, the color of the spider. You could put googly eyes on your spider. We talked about this in our last session. You guys wouldn't know this, but I talked about this in one of my last videos. That's what it is. It's basically changing the reality in your mind to something more acceptable that you can handle. Okay? And then you do timeline techniques that we're going to teach you how to use. So the NLP incorporates timeline techniques to explore and modify temporal organization of memories and beliefs. So RTT hypnosis actually helps you to revisit your past experiences. It's going to help you to go over all of those difficulties and start to reframe them. And then you get to look at them in a more positive light. And it's not just about reframing, because we reframe, but we also transform you. So now, if you're doing this on your own, all you're going to be able to do is reframe. It's a little bit harder to do the transformation part, but we can help you with all of this. If you come for a full RTT session, you can get everything done within 3 hours. That's all it takes, which is, by the way, different than any hypnotherapist you're going to go to or any hypnotist you're going to go to, because they only work with you for 1 hour. They have you come back repeatedly to do the same thing over and over again to finish the same thing. I know I went to a hypnotherapist. Not that I'm getting down on hypnotherapists, but they have a different style than a rapid transformational therapist. And the hypnotherapist, when I went to them, went in and we had a first half hour of talking or 45 minutes of talking. Then they did 15 minutes of hypnosis. And then in that hypnosis, what they did is they went back to the main problem, which is the timeline technique. That's what we're going to teach you how to do, is where you're going back over all of your problems and you're marking them down from year to year, where the problem happened, what happened, why it happened, what the triggers are, so on, so on, so on. Okay, so you're going to do all that stuff. That's what the timeline is. It's going to help you focus on those difficulties and reframe them all. So that's what we were doing with the hypnotherapist. It didn't work. Here's why: because the hypnotherapist only spent 15 minutes, 20 minutes under the hypnosis. They didn't reframe anything under the hypnosis. All they did is went in and dug for the issue, found the issue, and then left me with the issue. So that when I went back to visit them a week or two later, I was still struggling. The whole time I had been stuck in that chaos that they left my brain in, because they left me in the issue. They didn't take me out of it. They didn't reframe it. They didn't transform it. They didn't do anything. And in fact, it took another 3 weeks before they reframed everything, gave me a special audio to listen to, and did all of that stuff. It took a long time for her to get there. And by the time she finished, I was, when I started, actually, I loved myself. I loved life. Everything was great. But by the end of the month with that hypnotherapist, I was she fired me. She fired me because she didn't know what to do, and she felt really shitty about herself. And she's actually on Facebook. I see her all the time trying to sell her. I feel bad for anybody who's going to her, but I'm not going to say her name, but I feel bad for anybody who's going to her, because she's going to drop them the second they have a problem, because she's that lady. I don't drop people, guys, by the way. I don't drop people. So if you've got issues, if we're working together, I'm not going to drop you. I'm going to work with you until the end, until we figure out what the frig is going on with you and we change it. That's why I have a 93% success rate and other people don't, is because I actually work with my clients until the end. And the ones that didn't work with me till the end, that's the 6%, 94%. So that's the 6%, okay? They stopped working with me because they just gave up on themselves. The rest of them, no, we kept going. We kept going. I have one right now who's been with me for a while, longer than the 3 months he paid for, but I told him, I promised him, I'm going to keep you till the end. He's not even paying for me anymore because he already paid. I'm going to make sure he gets his transformation, because that's who I am. That's what I do, right? So if you want a real therapist, if you want somebody who's really out to help you, you find someone like me. Maybe not me, maybe you don't even like me, but find someone like me who's actually there to help you and not there to make the dollar. Because a lot of therapists, they're there to keep you sick. A lot of doctors are there to keep you sick. Not all. Please, guys, not all. But you have to understand that some of them, most of them are there to keep you sick, because you have to remind yourself that they get paid by the hour. And if you get healthy, they don't get paid anymore. Well, booyah. Same with your doctors. Your doctors get paid by how many medications they prescribe to you. So remind yourself of that. Follow the money, and you'll understand what that person believes in and how they're really treating you. So anyways, let's get back to this. Timeline therapy. So we do the timeline therapy, which by disassociating from, okay, when you're on the timeline therapy, you're going to put everything on the timeline, right? So that you can see throughout your life that you've been traumatized. And when you do that, it allows you to kind of disassociate from all of those negative emotions and reframe them into more positive ones. So that's what you get to do. So by disassociating from those negative emotions and those past failures, and using anchoring techniques to bring into the future positive ones through the timeline, because if you're doing timeline, you have to kind of use up all the other stuff I've just talked about. You kind of still have to do all that stuff and figure it out. Find out where all the issues started, why they started, why you're being triggered, and that will help you to see the pattern and then learn how to change your triggers. And then, start modeling excellence. So NLP encourages us to model amazing behaviors and strategies. We start to understand what others are doing, and we're able to model what they're doing instead of just seeing it and wishing that was us. During RTT hypnosis, you actually get to enter that state of deep trance, whereby you get to access your unconscious, subconscious mind, right? And the unconscious resources that are in your subconscious mind, really. And you get to model your focus and concentration and towards what you want it to be. So if you want to be more like your mentor, you can literally transform your mind to do that through hypnosis. You can, absolutely. All you have to do is talk about the whatever it is that your mentor exhibits. What are they exuding that you want to exude? And then tell your brain that's who you are. And you start to create that for yourself over time. That's how it works. So this also helps with stress reduction, you guys. So not only are you changing all of these things, but you're also going to be reducing your stress. RTT actually clears that mental clutter up in your brain so that you can enhance your concentration, because I mean, who doesn't want to enhance concentration? That's what's important. So hypnotherapy helps you to get to the root cause of any issue that is going on. Rapid transformational therapy works quicker than hypnotherapy, again, because hypnotherapy, they take forever. They take forever. Rapid transformational therapy, it's a 3-hour session. You come in, and you're done. Now, that being said, we work on one thing at a time. We do have follow-up sessions so that you understand what your mind is going to do, but the hypnosis itself happens in one session, right? So it's not like one session, one and done. You're only seeing me one time. No, you're going to see me for a full month or maybe 3 months. But what we do is we make sure that you're not sitting in that chaos week after week after week. You come in, we go to the root cause, we figure it out, done. Transform it, reframe, transform, and you come out a whole new human being within 3 hours of coming in. It's absolutely amazing. And that's what helps you to reduce the stress. A lot of stress, right? So picture someone who's been overwhelmed with that stress at work, how that affects them, okay? Because it's gonna affect their meetings, it's gonna affect their conversations with people, it's going to affect absolutely everything, including their gut health. Stress affects everything. And so what we do with hypnosis is we help you to become more productive, and we give you that mental clarity that you're looking to gain. And that's that. Now, I talked a little bit earlier about what it does for athletic performance, but basically it's that mental rehearsal that they're doing. That's what you want to do for yourself. So that mental rehearsal is seeing themselves complete the task. So seeing themselves, kick a field goal, seeing themselves run to the end of the field, or I don't know, hit the tennis ball, or what. I'm not a sports gal, can you tell? But whatever it is that they're doing, we can help them to visualize all of that stuff. That's what the mental rehearsal is. That's what you want to start doing, is mentally rehearse things in your mind. That's how they become easier and easier and easier for you to do. And that's how you get successful with stuff, is when you mentally rehearse it. Because you're telling your brain exactly where you want it to go. That builds your confidence. That helps you to focus more. That helps with stress management. That helps with performance optimization as well, right? Because, especially for athletes and business people, when you are able to align your thoughts, your emotions, and with your actions, then you will find the desired success that you're looking for. So what we want you to start doing is create that mental zone. What the hell's a mental zone, you're saying? I know, I said the same thing when I first found out about it. With the frick's a mental zone? Well, that means provide yourself and the people around you with like a sanctuary where you can go and chillax. So if you don't have one in your home, create one in your home. If you don't have one in your workspace, find one in your workspace. I know my mom, she never had one. She worked in a bank in downtown. And of course, downtowns are all cement, right? But my mom, her mental space when she got overexhausted was she went and found a spot that was just around the corner from the bank she worked in, that had some trees and had a little fountain. And then over the summer, they always had somebody out there playing music and bands and all of this sort of stuff. That's where she went to find her mental focus and to relax. That was her mental zone. You want to find something like that for yourself, for the people around you, for your children, somewhere where they can feel safe and where they can really, really go and get away from that fast-paced world, from the distractions around them. Make it a Wi-Fi free space, because guess what? Wi-Fi creates chaos in your brain. It creates a lot of the anxiety you're suffering from right now. I mean, if you look at children, I just watched a TikTok video earlier today, actually, of a child before getting an iPad and a child after getting the iPad. The child before the iPad was smiling, happy, out in the world trying things. The child after the iPad was anxiety riddled, yelling at their parents, violent, and it was only 6 months difference in time. What's it doing to you? If it did that to a kid in 6 months, what's it doing to you? Think about that for a sec. Make it a Wi-Fi free place. That's all we're saying. Make it a Wi-Fi free place. This mental zone serves as a protection barrier against external disturbances, okay? So allow yourself to immerse into the area that you're in and allow it to be completely relaxing for you, right? That's the mental zone. You need a place like this where you could just go and relax. Now, if you can't create a place, like I have places in my house, but that's not my mental zone. My mental zone is outside. Anywhere there are trees and nature, that's my mental zone. So if I'm incredibly stressed out, you will find me out in the world sitting next to water. That's where I'm going to be sitting. Water. Water calms me. Water calms the hell out of me. So I go and I find a spot, especially if I'm incredibly stressed out. I will go and find a spot by water, and I will just sit there and close my eyes and hear the water and hear the birds and let the sun be on my face. And that calms me. So find what works for you. Some people just heard that and they got the heebie-jeebies, creeped out because there's bugs there. But guess what? Those bugs are actually helping you to survive. Those bugs are actually creating you to be a stronger human being, because when you go out into nature and you hug a tree, by the way, that actually is 10 times more powerful than hugging a human being, hugging a tree. Did you know that? No, of course you didn't know that, because you're not a nature person, are you? Yes, nature, it's called grounding. It's a grounding technique. Now, putting your feet on the ground, on the mud. I'm not talking about shoes. I'm talking about your actual bare feet. Get it into the grass. Get it into the mud. Let your feet feel Mother Nature. Start touching Mother Nature with your hands. When I go for walks, I'm touching all the trees I walk by. Not all of them, but lots of the trees I'm walking by. I'm always touching Mother Nature. I'm inviting her into my reality. And then I hug trees. There's a tree I have outside of my house that is so powerful. It's huge. It's one of the most healthiest trees on my street. And every time I pass that tree, I either touch it or I hug it. And when I do, I get a jolt of energy that races right through my body from that tree. So if you don't have humans to hug, go and hug trees. That should be part of your mental zone, is grounding. Okay? In the mental zone, I want you to go find someplace where you can ground yourself, because ground is incredibly important for self-healing. Now, how does rapid transformational therapy help with academic success and focus? Well, it helps with improved focus. It helps with enhanced memory, stress reduction, positive mindset. And of course, you get better study habits through this, and your brain kind of explodes with knowledge. All of a sudden, as soon as you've come to an RTT session, that's what starts to happen. Now, you have to understand RTT, you have to make sure the therapist knows where your problems are when it comes to study techniques, by the way, because we did have one client who came in who said she had an exam coming up and she couldn't remember anything, she couldn't study. And so that's what I put into her session, but that wasn't her problem. It wasn't that she didn't know the stuff. She knew the stuff. When I talked to her about it, she knew her stuff. Her problem was that she got exam anxiety, which meant the second she saw the exam in front of her face, she went blank. That's a completely different hypnosis session. Completely different. So you have to make sure that you really talk it out and you tell them what your real problem is, and so that they can help you figure that out. This all helps you get into that relaxed state of focus, and it helps you create mindfulness practices, which you can do. All of these sorts of things. That's what rapid transformational therapy does, right? It boosts your creativity, enhances your memory. It helps you to overcome procrastination, all of these things. And it gives you that self-confidence that you're looking for, and it helps you to become more self-aware as well. And it helps you to also see where you are lacking in emotional intelligence, and then it helps you to grow there. I know you're thinking, I'm not lacking, I'm completely intelligent. No. Let me tell you a story, because I'm not going to tell you a story, but we are all lacking. Everybody's kind of lacking in emotional intelligence based off what we're being taught, based off what you're watching off TV. All of those things are kind of affecting you, because we're all kind of being brainwashed by the world around us, which kind of takes away that emotional intelligence, because if you look at the world out there, it's training you to become a victim. That's what it's doing. It's training you to be a victim, to require the help of your government, to not rely on yourself. And I mean that 100%. I mean, look at the world right now. I don't know that many people who actually grow their own food, yet when I was being raised, everybody I knew had a garden. Everybody I knew had a garden when I was growing up, because they grew their own vegetables and fruits. Now, no, everybody's relying on the grocery store, and nobody can cook for themselves anymore either, because they're relying on fast food restaurants and this sort of stuff. So, guys, it's about being more self-aware. This is about being more self-aware. You have to learn how to start taking care of yourself, accepting responsibility for yourself. That's what RTT helps you to do. So all of these things, the negative self-talk, any of that stuff that's going on, if you're feeling that, any of those disruptors, we're going to help you to get through that. That's what RTT does. It helps with, time management stuff. It helps with better decision making. Relaxation for clear thinking happens as well after rapid transformational therapy sessions, and you get to unlock your full potential like what I did, because I thought I was never going to be employable again. And then I unlocked my potential, and boya, here we are. So if you want enhanced focus and concentration, if you want to promote your growth and development at work and at home, if you want to foster curiosity and creativity in your life, rapid transformational therapy is the place for you, because it's going to stimulate your imagination. It's going to encourage you to explore all of those new ideas and new possibilities. It's going to give you this playful and adventurous approach to self-discovery that maybe you didn't experience before. And that's what rapid transformational therapy does for nearly everybody. Unless you're an overthinker, then it's a little bit harder to get through, but eventually you will find your way to overthinkers. It just takes a little bit more time, but that's okay. Baby steps. It's always about baby steps. And I know a lot of you guys are saying right now, how the fuck am I going to do this? I'm scared. I get it. I've been scared. You know, guys, rapid transformational therapy is really worth it. It's natural to have self-doubt. It's natural to question all of this stuff because, you know, that mindset that we have, it's not meant for me, that mindset. Well, consider embarking on a journey that actually does change your life. That's what this one's going to do. And let me assure you that RTT offers powerful and effective approaches that are transformative and that will yield profound results. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but over time, those results start to show as soon as you learn to let go. It's about letting go of the things that no longer work for you, the things that were getting in the way of you, those things. If you let them go, your whole life changes for you. And RTT provides the pathway to unlock all of that, to unlock your full potential, to create lasting change in your life. And you get to break free from any of those limiting beliefs and cultivate resilience, you know, and step into that brighter future. I know you're saying, well, okay, but I'm still scared. I get it. I was scared, and it took me a long time to even try hypnosis. It took actually a few years before I actually tried the hypnosis because of the fear I had inside of me, because of what I was programmed from the world around me about hypnosis. But we all know change is daunting. We all know that, especially when it involves delving into those deep-seated beliefs that you've been hiding from and running from, all those emotions that you're running away from. Well, it's essential to remember that fear often arises from the unknown, and facing it head on actually can lead to profound growth. That's why we want you to come here, so we can transform your life, right? RTT is designed to be safe. It is safe as long as you're with somebody who's very well trained in the modality you want them to do. Not all RTT therapists are alike. We've all been trained differently. We all have different backgrounds, and we all have different skills. Some of us are natural at it, and others are not. It's just like if you go anywhere, you know, if you go to see a chef, if you go to, anywhere, no two people are alike. So no two chefs will be alike. Even if they were trained by the same chef, they won't be alike. They'll have their own different distinct flavors and tastes, and everything will be according to that one individual. So understand that when you do go find an RTT therapist, they're not all alike. So do find one that you really associate with, that you can relate with, that understands what you're going through and your particular issues, right? We bring in people who want to come in for, you know, a complete life change because they were suffering anxiety, depression, and all that stuff that's been holding them back in business and in life. That's who we work with. So we have the skills for that. I have extra education for trauma and all of these sorts of events in people's lives. That's what I'm well educated in. So that's what I help people with. But find one that, you know, will guide you into wherever you need to go. Make sure that they know what they're doing, because they can help you overcome all of your fears, and break free from any limitations that may be holding you back. So remember that, you know, courage isn't the absence of fear. It is the willingness to face it and move forward despite the fear. And that's what I need a lot of you guys to know, is that this RTT, it's not going to alleviate your fear. It might alleviate some of the fear because now you've developed confidence. But what this does is it allows you to build that willingness to try to take those steps, to put yourself out there and to change your life, right? So what happens when you come in? Well, a lot. We do a lot with you. We do initial assessments. We go through the hypnosis session. We subconsciously reprogram your mind, and then we integrate things with follow-ups and all of that jazz. So that's what RTT is in a nutshell, you guys. And I highly suggest you look into it because it'll likely work for you. And if you're thinking to myself, if you're thinking to yourself, well, yeah, Chris, I love everything you're talking about, but I don't think I can afford that. Okay, I understand that too. I was there once too. You know, I was on disability for a very long time and I didn't make any money at all. Literally only $760 a month is what I used to make on disability. How do you survive off that? I get it. Money is tight. So what we've done, because not everybody, I'm expensive. I'm thousands of dollars to come and see me. So if you don't have thousands of dollars to come and see someone like me, what we urge you to do, and what I've done for you, because I love everybody so much and I want people to get so much help, is I've created a program called Figuring Yourself Out. It's been out before, but what we've done is we revamped it. I've added some videos for you, some training videos. We've turned this into a complete training course for you. It's a self-help course that you could purchase yourself. So everything I talked about today, all of the stuff that Rapid Transformational Therapy does for you, we're training you to do that yourself in the course. You can do it all by yourself at home, except for the hypnosis part. You can do self-hypnosis. You could do self-hypnosis, but you can't do it with me. So that course, although it'll give you links to reach me, that course is for you to do all of this stuff all by yourself. You're going to learn how to anchor. You're going to learn how to, do cognitive enhancements and changes. You're going to learn how to do everything we talked about today in this course. It gets launched next week, so I can't sell it to you today, but I want you guys all to be ready because this is coming out next week and it's at a beta price. This is the starting price. So if you guys want to get in on it, do it by next week because it's only going to last at this price until we sell out of the program of 250 items. Now, once those 250 items sell, because we're pricing it at $250, that's why I put 250 items. Once those 250 items sell out, the price doubles. Okay? Now, it starts at $250 for just the course. If you want the video with the course, it's going to be $500. It's a little more expensive, but worth it. The course itself should take you at least 3 months to complete if you're doing it correctly, or longer, depending on how much trauma you have in your life. But the entire course will change everything in your life. Everything we were talking about today that Rapid Transformational Therapy does, I put into this course so you can do it on your own at home. You can save yourself and become your own superhero. So get ready, guys. Next Wednesday, it's launching. Next Wednesday. And it allows you to do all of this stuff by yourself at home. So reach out to me. There is a link right now somewhere in here. I don't know where it is. There's a link somewhere in here that gets you to me so that if you want to actually book a session with me, you can. If you just want to talk to me to help figure out your life, you can do that too. Absolutely, please do that. Okay? Now, don't hesitate, you guys, because again, the prices will double after the first 250 sell out. And they're going to sell out really fast because we've already got at least 100 people waiting for this, which means there's technically only 150 left. So buy them while you can before the price doubles. And we're launching it next week. So that's it for today, guys. I really appreciate everybody being on this call. I'm going to go ahead and get a hold of Michael right now, because Michael wanted me to talk to him. So we're going to go ahead and get a hold of Michael, see what he really wanted. And I want to send my love and hugs to every single one of you guys out there. And I want you to know that if you are suffering, if you feel out of control, if you feel fear, anxiety, depression, anything that's holding you back, there's an answer. And it's Rapid Transformational Therapy. And all you got to do is reach out. Bye.